Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. Today I want to talk about how to leave everything behind and start in a new city to improve your life, to move forward. I want to start over. I need a new life. I want to go somewhere far away, you might be saying. You've reached a major turning point in your life. For one reason or another, you want to say goodbye to your old life and start a whole new chapter somewhere else. This is not a decision to be made lightly. But at this point, all assume you already know it's what you want. Trust me, I've been there. Matter of fact, I'm going through it right now. Making this kind of change is never easy for yourself or for your family or your loved ones. But you can help mitigate your anxiety with some good old-fashioned preparation. So you might be saying, how do I start over? Well, I have gone through many huge life changes, all of which required leaving behind an old lifestyle and embracing a whole new one. You know what I think? It's kind of like being a spy. When I was a kid, I thought being a spy would be a pretty neat thing. So, in a way, I've kind of achieved using some of the techniques I used when I was a kid, pretending to be one. Here's what I've learned from my own experiences of starting a brand new life in a new city. Inspect and strategize all your resources. If you're able to be flexible, you can still go far while having a little to put out. And to take inventory of what you have and to utilize the positive ones that you have and get rid of some of the old luggage behind might cut cost and aggravation down for you. A box, icicle, 2 instruments, and a few miscellaneous items. It's not always a lot, but it might be something to get rid of. Knowing what you have available to you will help you make this work to your favor. Remember the spy analogy I spoke about in the beginning. Spies are known for their ability to get in and out of any situation. Kind of like MacGyver. Do you remember that show? How do they do this? They know what they have, what they don't have, what they don't want, and what they do want, and they use their resources creatively. Here's my personal checklist for this. Set up a monthly budget. Money is the source of all stress. Visa loan application, could be college, could be just regular bills. These are all things that might stress you out. Despite what they say, money can help you buy happiness. It helps you feel secure in the simple things like eating and sleeping with a roof over your head each and every day. Start by counting up all your assets to see how long your cash would last as you currently live without any more income. Then try to see how far you could stretch it to make it last as long as possible. Think of it as mental exercise. Which expenses do you absolutely need? Which ones can you get rid of? Perhaps your cell phone is a must item, but your daily cup of Starbucks can go. Afterwards, ask yourself how you can start increasing your monthly income in this new life of yours. Number 2 is the skills. Your skills are an asset. Remember that. Can you write, draw, take pictures, organize? Can you bathe pets, clean houses, make beds, program apps? Write down all your skills, big and small. Whatever you can do, you should consider it an asset. Work can be traded for accommodation, food, and money. These are all important to your future. Don't sell yourself short. Just because you don't have a college education doesn't mean you're not worth being paid for, because your life experience is worth more than any college education. These are the things that you have at your disposal to make more money down the line. Have a skill you don't know yet, but really want to add to your repertoire? I recommend going out all and using the obsessive learning technique. I love to talk about it so much in some of my other videos. Number 3, this is a huge one now, the debts. There is an astonishing amount of personal debt, and it can be incredibly stressful to deal with. List your debts in order from the smallest to the biggest. Research the legal rights you still have if you're unable to pay any of them. Are your debts deferrable? Is there a liable asset of yours that can be seized? Knowing your rights. Paying down your debts is your fastest route to financial freedom. My recommendation in your new life is to live a minimal expenses dedicating every last penny to get rid of your debt, snowball style. That means paying off your smaller debts first and then worry about the bigger ones as you go along. Plan for a best case, worst case scenario. One of my biggest fears is that everything is going to be dreadfully wrong. Don't overthink things. That's why at any given point I have 2 or 3 wildly different plans for what I'll do if something does go sideways. Here's a few examples of my own life. Backup plan, visa application, in case you need to get another credit card. Talk about maybe also looking for the lowest interest ones. Of course, there is no guarantee it will work, but weigh the options and try to hope for the best. To deal with this, I have 2 alternative plans to follow in the event my long-term credit card application doesn't work. I can either then possibly get a secured card, or I can just put the money aside and not spend it. So those are the 2 ways to do that. Then you have to come up with a second backup plan, whatever it might be. Sometimes also just coming up maybe in a contest. It could be an eating contest or something, can make you earn extra money. The questions about the viability of anything just piled up, and you just need to conquer one at a time. Remember, deal with the smaller ones first and then go for the larger ones. Maybe you want to get a summer job. If you're a teacher or a bus driver, you could survive since you're totally just sitting on the couch during the summers anyways. Just maybe work a couple hours. That's extra money to start you off in your new city. Before heading off, research all possible backup plans for any type of job or any type of situation. Every step of the way, you got to know that if you don't have a car, you got to know the closest shuttle or bus system that would take you here and there. I would make sure, if I was you, that if you have a friend, to try to get them to help you, maybe with your transportation, by allotting a certain amount of money. I just wanted to give you an advice from all the times that I had to move to a new city. Here's the spoiler alert. I totally made it because I set my mind to it, and you can as well. So what's your backup plan? When you leave everything behind, you also leave behind comfort and predictability. A spy is ready for every situation, good or bad. It involves a lot of thinking on your feet and practicing the art of devising creative escape routes. Think about the worst case scenario. What if your job lets you go? What are you going to do? What if your house burns down in flames? I know it's ridiculous, but what do you do? What if the airline loses all your luggage on your way to your new place? What if your visa application for a credit card doesn't get approved? What if your transportation is totally demolished or non-salvageable? What will you do if something like this ever happens? Where will you go? Where will you turn to? This is the point where most people panic. That's a completely normal initial reaction, but the truth of the matter is sometimes this stuff happens. Panic about it for 1 minute now, and then take a step back and think it through with a rational second plan of action. Think outside the box. As they say, when one door closes, there's always another one that opens. Or maybe it's time to climb out of the window, but look for that escape plan. Maybe you can pursue an entirely different career, or you can maybe you can volunteer at maybe an animal shelter, teaching English, maybe in a class of people trying to become citizens. Seriously, get crazy with it. Having a wild alternative has a strangely calming effect. There's so much to do out there in the world. It's a huge place. By the way, are you keeping your backups of your important documents? If your vital paperwork is destroyed or stolen, have it on the digital backup like I do. In any case, taking the time to dream out completely different courses of action help in a couple of ways. You don't feel boxed in by your immediate circumstances. There are always alternatives. You've already created rational courses of action, and you have those backup plans going. Backup plans help to take out the element of surprise and risk. With that said, don't let your fears get the best of you. The point is to be prepared in case of any emergency, but don't let these concerns dictate your life. Use your backup plan as a safety net to ease the anxiety and let it be. Choose how you accommodate your things. Letting go of the stuff is hard. we create a deep emotional identity to our belongings, almost like hoarders. When you're new in practice, it's especially difficult, but let go of the things that are no longer needed, and you can sell them cheaply and use that money as a backup in case you need it. But when it's time to move forward and leave your old life behind, you have to learn to let belongings go. In my opinion, there's a reason every society is steeped in rituals. Rituals help us cope with what is outside of our control. In the same way, I recommend you create a ritual to deal with letting go your belongings go. If it doesn't need to get involved in an altar or an idol, but pick out a few meaningful things and take those with you, but leave some behind. Today, my friends, if you're planning on going to another city, today is the first day you need to start planning ahead and doing what you feel is best. But always have that backup plan. Make sure that before you go to the city, you have a physical home address. Make sure that that physical home address, you have changed the mail over so you still continue getting all your bills, and the good mail, of course. Sometimes just having a decent bed to sleep in is enough to make your day. Sometimes just having a decent bed to sleep not only in, but also on, so make sure that you have comfortable mattresses. If you get rid of your mattress up here, buy a new one. Much like our belongings, home plays a lot into our own identities. When you leave somewhere else and are surrounded by a new culture and different situations, things become a little scary sometimes. You may even pin down what home means to you, but knowing that the search for all helps to cope with the weird feelings that come out of it. So home should feel like home. The best part is you begin to make a whole new identity for you and to start in a brand new city. Remember to follow certain steps, and always appreciate family. Family, if they support you, are the best crutch to lean on. Remember that today, starting tomorrow in a new city. This is where an ideal of rogue spy goes sideways if you don't utilize some of these tricks. Being alone, well, it is all cracked up to be. You need support from others. Feeling alone and rejected is not healthy for us as humans. Just because you're moving onto a world doesn't mean you should ever feel this way. Starting over often comes with sudden clarity as to who your real family is. In some cases, you needed a fresh start to get away from a bad situation like a relationship. When you can, hold on to those left behind. You don't need to completely start over. Take those in your heart and take those in your memories. In any case, family doesn't need to be blood related either. And you don't need to create a support system for yourself wherever you wind up. Let today be the first day in your new city, and call me at 844-405-HELP, and together you and I will help you move to that new city and take your life back today. May God bless you.